I have just been to Euro Car Parts and collected a stereo that I ordered from them. It was the cheapest I could get it for. It was £296. Everywhere else online was 320 plus. Halfords was 430. So I got the stereo today from Euro Car Parts, and it's the Pioneer SPH-DA77DAB. Main reason I need it is for Android Auto. I'm an Android user. I'm an Apple fan as far as MacBooks are concerned and iPads, but phones, I'm an Android person. So this has Android Auto, but with wireless as well. So you don't even have to faff around with cables when you get in the van. Main stuff that I've been through so far with this has been, I took out the stereo, as you can see here. I have a Connects 2 kit, which was about £90, which allows you to do the steering wheel controls. I've cut out all of the plastic under here. There's plenty of videos online of how awkward these flipping stereos are when you want to put an aftermarket in. This particular stereo is actually only it's a single unit, it's not a double din. I don't know how it's all going to fit. We'll figure that out. That will be something to show you in a little while. I've got my USB, which goes across to in here. I have bought this connector for the hazards. I've ordered a passenger airbag one because when you disconnect this unit, the passenger airbag light comes on. It's all wired in. The last stereo did work, it just didn't have all the features I wanted. It didn't have true Android Auto on it. It only had like some sort of iPod control. I even updated it, put on the latest firmware, all of that, and it just wasn't very good. But yeah, this is a top of the line as far as all the different brands out there. They kind of, they had the features, but some of them are a bit slow, and this is pretty decent. I think this was made in the last year, so it's a relatively new model, which means newer processors and all that kind of stuff. It's got a capacitive touch screen on it, so it should behave a lot better. But yeah, I'm just going to go off now to Halfords because this connector here is the only aerial connector I have, and the aerial is out there. It's been relocated because of the pop top. And I have got an adapter, which I bought for the last stereo, which will go into the stereo, but on this end we've only got like a large connector, which is basically what one of these plugs into. So I've now got to get one of these adapters that plugs into this, and I believe Halfords may be the place to go. So I'm going to go there now and let's see if it actually has the adapter I need. One other thing before I go, this is the fascia I bought from China. It was £21. Cheapest I found in the UK was about 80 quid. It's nice, it looks OEM. I like the colour. I didn't like the silver one that was there before, so I got a darker one. But yeah, should all look good once it's done. I will catch up with you in a while. Moment of truth. Oh, just got back. Oh, just got out of Halfords, and basically I have bought this connector here, which is hopefully going to plug into this connector here, which is then going to plug into this one, which goes into the stereo. I've got no way of holding my phone to do this. I'm going to get this thing out the box. This is the adapter. Right, there's that. Yeah, whenever I film, I don't actually look at myself, I just film. So sometimes I cut my head off and stuff like that. Trying to put it into this connector now, and it might be the wrong one. No, wow, a magic. Hold. Oh my god, it actually fits on there. So yeah, well done Halfords with your £4 piece of wire. That's good. That connects on there, and then there's this, what I probably paid £3 for on eBay. So that plugs into there. So it's very long, but it means I have a DAB and FM radio to connect to my new stereo. I'm not exactly likely to use it very much, but it's good to have it there, especially if you're in another country. I think sometimes you want to be able to tune into the local radio and stuff, just, you know, get traffic news and things like that. Here we are. I'm gonna go back to the house now. Gonna get all of this stuff fitted and set up a tripod so that I can take you along with me without me being all awkward and trying to flipping film while I'm doing stuff. I will see you in a short while. I am now just going to make a little bit of space. So I've got my brackets and stuff. I've got all my tools. I have my fascia, and I'm not going to go from the very beginning because I've already done a lot of the work here. And let me just try and get this a bit over this way so I'm still in the picture as well. There we go. And yeah, I'm just basically fitting a different stereo to the one I bought previously. Get these tools over that way. All the various crap that I've got lying around on the front seats, including the book that I'm still reading, Anthony Bourdain. It's taken me a while to get through that because I keep forgetting that I've got the book. Unlike all of my Kindle books, which yeah, a lot of those are unread as well. The joys of ADHD. I'm going to disconnect the control panel of the old stereo. I think this camera is, yeah, still a mystery to me. I'm still learning, and yeah, this might come out crap and I might not show it, so we'll see what happens. So first things first, let's get this Pioneer SPH-DA77DAB. Rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? So we have a microphone which is going to get fitted today. I've got I ordered one of these as well, so I've actually got 2 of these now, 2 microphones for double the fun. USB adapter. I've already got one of those because I bought one previously. This is the aux in. These are all the RCA leads, which includes a second camera input. Not using that either. Right, this one has the rear view camera and the steering wheel controls. Now that's very important. That works with my Connects box. The camera, that's in progress. I still haven't sourced the camera I'm using yet. I do have one. I've got a faulty one, that's a Ford one that's built in. It just, yeah, it's intermittent. I don't really like it. There is also another one on the back that was part of some sort of camera system before, but I had to cut the cables when I did my conversion, so I'm gonna have to have a look at that. Here's our ISO wiring loom. Focus is really tough, isn't it? Yeah, it's really difficult. Maybe it's just the lighting in here. And then we have a GPS aerial, which is supposed to go somewhere on the dash, but I think this up here is a GPS aerial. So if I can get the cable to stretch, because the built-in GPS is now pointless, so if I can get that cable to stretch, I might be able to use that instead. And then there's a surround for the stereo, which we won't need because our fascia kind of makes up for that. I haven't fitted many car stereos in the last 20 years. Before that I used to fit loads, but they've all changed a fair bit now, especially with the ISO standards, not having to do a lot of cutting into wires, which is much better. Just going to get the stereo out now. I'm making myself a nice pile of junk over on this side where you can't see it. So yeah, this is the DA77DAB, and this is just the surround. That's probably not going to be used. So the unit is actually only 1 unit high. The trick's going to be to do this without slicing my hands open, because that's what I did the other day. It's screwed in. It's got these tiny little screws here, so I'm going to have to undo those. Luckily I bought my trusty mini screwdrivers with me. Before I do anything, I'm actually going to get this plugged in and just test it out, make sure all the functions work, because it would be very annoying if they didn't after faffing around with everything. So I'm just going to get this ISO harness plugged in, and then I can unravel a lot of this stuff which I've basically hidden out the way while I've been driving around without a stereo. Okay, so that's the steering wheel controls and everything. Now, let's see if we can get this to fire up as it is. I'm just dangling a £300 stereo there on the gear stick. Ignition in. I'm going to turn that off. Right, okay, Pioneer, here we go. Also, you can put your own picture on this apparently. So no GPS antenna, that's fine. English, obviously. Speakers, standard mode, yeah. Does your antenna require power? No. Turn on Bluetooth on your smartphone. Would you like to pair? Yes, I would like to pair. Would you like to start Android Auto? Well, why on earth not? Don't know if this is going to trigger off some kind of copyright protection, but we'll see. The GPS antenna, I need to get on that, because otherwise I think the phone doesn't pick it up. Here we go, Android Auto. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then remote. Yep, there we go, volume's going up and down. Steering wheel controls, which is absolutely perfect, it's exactly what we need. That's it really. There's no point me testing the reverse camera because I ain't got one connected at the moment, but yeah, phone's all connected, that's all good. It's exactly what I wanted, so it's good to know that the DA77DAB Pioneer works in a Transit Custom Limited. Everything seems to function. So yeah, I'm going to faff around for a bit, try and get this GPS aerial connected. I'm going to be in the way of the camera, so there's no point me showing that. I just took this out and got to the GPS aerial, and the GPS aerial is cable tied in, so I cut the cable ties and I'm now going to route that through so it reaches a stereo. Unfortunately it's not as long as the other cables. And then the one thing I almost forgot to do was the microphone. and I want to give that a test before I actually commit to wiring to getting this all fitted in. Learning very quickly that whenever you buy something and want to check it, make sure it actually works before you go fitting it, because otherwise you're just gonna have to undo everything and it'll be a right pain in the arse. So what I was thinking is putting the microphone up here. You can't see that. Let me just see if I can rejig the camera a little bit. Gonna put it up here on the sun visor, and then hopefully, I don't know, maybe on the actual sun visor. I think that's what it's designed for anyway. So yeah, I guess firstly, it's very rare it's going to get used, the sun visor anyway, because winter's coming now. I guess I can make that cable come round here, and then I'll have to run this wire all the way down, clip it in behind the trim, and run it across the dash. But in the meantime, I am not going to film that either. I know that's really, like, you're going to miss out on some stuff, but it's just going to be really awkward to film it. So I am going to unclip this trim. I'm going to run the wire down there. I'm going to put it somehow behind the dashboard, and I'm going to bring it out here, behind here. So yeah, it's a bit of a mission to film. I will catch up with you in a while. I'm also going to make a phone call. I'm going to plug this into the stereo, make a quick phone call, make sure they can hear me. Did a test of the DAB, the sat nav, made a phone call using this microphone, which is currently just still dangling. I haven't actually started any of what I said I was going to do yet. But yeah, all looks good. GPS aerial plugs in. No problems really, other than when I went to set the high pass filter on the speakers, because I don't want too much bass going through them because they'll just distort. I got it stuck on 250 hertz, which is a bit high, so I'm going to figure out how to reset that. I am now going to get on with taking off the trim and getting this microphone all plugged in. We'll do the actual installation, make sure everything's fitted properly. So here is where I cut out all of the plastic using a Stanley knife. It was a bit of a faff to do. These are the aerial USB connectors, and there is my hazard connectors, as well as the ISO. I've just taken out this where I've run the microphone cable down this trim and then round to the back of this cubby, and then I've dropped it in, and I'm going to bring it through to where the stereo is. But what I've found here, I've taken the tray out. So as you can see here, the tray is out. The USB that was in here, see here, I'm actually going to cut that out bigger, so that I can put in my USB connector that I've got going on here, because that's a nice neat way to bring it through, like so. But I'm going to leave all the forward connections in the background. I'll leave the cigarette lighter connected in this one, that's quite useful for power. Okay, so this here, as you can see, this is the cable that comes from the microphone, so I'm going to cut a little notch out here and bring it down into this, run it underneath, run it the same way that I run the USB cable, which is basically through here. There's some gaps, so when this tray goes back in there, it will just cover up all those wires, and then I'll have my own USB here. And like I say, the aux, I mean, I don't really have a need for an aux, so I'm not worried about figuring that out right now. Every time I go to film, I manage to turn my phone back off. So this is the Ford tray that goes just above the steering wheel. And what I'm doing is I'm using a Stanley knife, or a box cutter, to cut the back off of the existing USB slot. Then I'm going to be pushing this into it once I've made it bigger. So basically just going to try and, I'm going to cut this out bigger and then slide through the USB. Hopefully it will work. No fingers cut off yet. So yeah, this is making a bit more clearance there, and then I'm going to cut it from the front using the Stanley knife. I haven't really got a proper way of measuring it, to be honest, but yeah, this is not my style. We'll just do it and see what happens. Show where I am right now. So I've started to slice away at this, and still got a little way to go yet, but just to see there, almost at the right height for it. I'll just have to get the width a bit more, the girth, get that in going, get that going, and then that should push in nicely. I think we might almost be there now. just whittling away at it. Basically, it's not pretty, but yeah, I've used a drill as well to like get a little bit of it, but it just started melting the plastic. So yeah, almost done, and I think the bezel will cover it all up anyway, so it'll be good. Let's have a look at how well. Oh, look at that, and we're in. I'm happy with that. That's pretty good. Sits out the back there. That means I can wire that through to the stereo. It means I can keep my phone in this tray and use Android Auto to connect to it, which is great. Exactly what I wanted to be able to do. Just to show you the back side of it. I know, again, it's not the prettiest thing, but does it matter? It's literally a cubby above the steering wheel. It's really not that important how it looks, just how it functions. It's been a while already, and I've still got a way to go, but I'm going to try and make this neat and tidy. But yeah, I do like the stereo a lot. It's really useful. Definitely recommend the Pioneer DA77DAB. It's got all the features I want, and once I've got the camera and all that rigged up, like the rear reverse camera and stuff, it'll be even better. It has actually got a second camera input, so I'm thinking either I'm going to use a secondary camera on the back, or I might even try to put one in the front, but we will see. I think if there was any other feature I would have wanted, it would have been like a dash cam, so maybe something could record to USB, but I'll just set up something separate for that in the future. There's no major rush right now. It's just quite useful for capturing video when we're driving along, stuff that I can get content for and stuff. But yeah, that's where we are right now. I can already sense the fun of getting this thing fitted because it's a single DIN, because the brackets, yeah, the brackets are only go so deep. But I'm going to do a test fit, figure out if I can look at where the brackets need to be, and then we'll take it from there basically. So the very first thing I want to do is take these little rack mount bits off, because they're stopping me actually even pushing the fascia on to see where we are. So I'm going to do that now. The most ridiculous thing though, turn on the high pass filter, I've managed to get the frequency up to 250 and I don't know how to get it back down again. It's very, very annoying. I'd love to know how to fix that. So I have now fitted my USB here. Hopefully you can see that. And then the microphone's coming down through here. Okay, that's simple. Then they're going to pass through underneath here to where they connect to the stereo, and to do that I'm just going to use a bit of gaffer tape. I'm going to stick these together and I'm going to put that through. Stereo is fitted. It's not perfect. I think I might need to get something 3D printed to do a surround, to be honest, because there's no easy way of lining this up with the space I've got available because it's a single DIN. Yeah, it's not perfect, never will be. I'm not the perfect type of person as it is anyway. Functional's better. So I am going to now fit in the top piece here to cover this back up, and then I'm going to fix that down in a minute. And yeah, microphone's in. Cable is slightly loose on the dash, but let me see if I can yeah, it's out of the way. It's not going to get in anyone's way. I could potentially tape it down with some double-sided tape or something, which I'll probably do at some point, probably never. But yeah, it's fitted. Going to get this screwed back down. Can now use my phone inside there. If I wanted to have it plugged in, obviously I can still use my usual cigarette lighter charging anyway. And yeah, sounds good, seems to work. Gonna go for a little drive, double check the sat nav's working properly. But yeah, quite happy with the stereo itself. Fitting wise, just a little bit of adjustment to make. Like I say, because of the gap here, it might be that I need to yeah, I just can't bring it forward and at the right angle. So yeah, this, I think I might have to get an insert made, but we shall see. We'll see what happens. Okay, so stereo is switching on. Takes about 10 seconds. annoying warnings at the beginning. Don't think there's much can do about that, to be honest. And then fire up Android Auto. I thought that might actually happen off its own accord, but it doesn't. But it's fine. So podcast there.
We haven't valued as a system.
Coming straight off the phone, sat nav. There is various different options in here. You can bring up any sources you want on the front page. You can also talk to it. So if you are in Android Auto, just give me a hello.
Hi there.
There you go. So simple as. That's quite good. It's good stereo. It's fast, responsive. Doesn't have any stupid skins on it or anything that ruin the experience. The part I was going to look at quickly, if we go back into Android Auto, if we go here, you get your apps that are on the phone. So which is good. It's got all of that. I use YouTube Music as well. So yeah, all of these things are. Oh, and you get message the messages coming through. Yeah, so I get YouTube Music on here as well, and you can see. Which is great. So yeah, quite happy with the stereo. Definitely recommend it. It's not the cheapest out there. You can get these Chinese brand ones, but to be honest, you never know what you're going to get unless you've tried one out. You don't know what it's really going to be like and what the updates and support are like. At least with a Pioneer, I know I'm going to get a good couple of years support out of it. Going to be able to get firmware updates when they're needed. So yeah, definitely recommend the SPH-DA77DAB.